hearty good evening is extended to each and everyone. It's a real pleasure to be here. I had to try to decide, do I come up on that side, take the long way, or this side? Because the news of a minister falling, not good, not good at this time. I must say, when I walked into the auditorium, I was very, very pleased. You have certainly set the bar, raised the standard. It is the most fancy. It's the most fancy award ceremony I've seen since 2018 to now of a national governing body. So I want to salute you. I must say, I'm always very, very pleased, very heartened by the way TTGA goes about its business. Golf is dear to me. I was assigned Ministry of Sport and Youth Affairs in April of 2018, and my first gig was the Prime Minister's golf tournament in Tobago. I didn't have a clue as to what to do as it relates to golf. And they gave me Barry Ferdinand, who trained me for a weekend, and then I had to tee off. Now, consider that from a little girl coming out of Bethel Village, Church Street, Bethel Village in Tobago. That's that street right above the Mount Irving Golf Course, which would have been one of the best the best golf course in Tobago during those days. And we didn't play golf, but we would go to the golf course very often to collect the balls to play morale. So I just turned to Wayne and I said, what's that little ball inside the ball made of? So you crack the ball, there's a lot of rubber bands, and we would make handbands and headpieces and so on with the rubber bands. And there was a little ball in the center. The big girls would play more with the little ball because you had to be skilled. And he said, don't say that, Minister. They don't make the balls like that anymore. Balls don't have rubber bands in them anymore. So we've certainly come a long way because that is what golf would have meant to me then. It wasn't a game for us. Our brothers and fathers went to the golf course to work as caddies. They would get US dollars from doing that. And now we can boast of those who learn to play golf by doing that. For instance, Samuel Cudjoe, whose father was a caddy, that then taught him golf. And then Chris Macmillan, who was training me a couple of years ago, he's also from Bethel Village. And we only got involved in golf by the close proximity to the golf course because we had to pass the golf course to get to Mount Irving Beach. So anyway, yes, golf is dear to my heart. I'm not a good player. I started off training with Barry and then with Chris, and it takes time. It's addictive, and if you don't have the time to be out there all day, then you would lose momentum and lose the appetite for it. So it's about finding time. But I must say, you've come a really long way because you have people from all walks of life participating and playing and making strides. So I tip my hat to you. And Wayne, I will not talk about balls with rubber bands and hard balls in the center anymore. Ladies and gentlemen, it's an absolute pleasure to be with you this evening as we celebrate not only sporting excellence, but excellence in golf in Trinidad and Tobago. The awards granted this evening will mark the wonderful culmination of a year of many accomplishments as all golfers have been really excelling, showcasing their talents, and really flying the flag of Trinidad and Tobago high domestically and internationally. It's a privilege to extend my sincerest congratulations to all those who would grace the stage this evening. Your hard work and dedication have finally paid off, and the government and the people of Trinidad and Tobago are proud indeed. I must confess my surprise, though, that this is the very first time that an event of this nature is being held, and therefore I extend sincerest congratulations to the executive, the staff, everyone in the Trinidad and Tobago Golf Association for seeing it fit to really honor our athletes, to celebrate sporting excellence, to motivate the movers and the shakers in the sporting fraternity. So here's to bestowing honor, reverence, regard, and due respect to those who dare to dream and those who chose to pursue those dreams with discipline, determination, grit, and dedication that knows no limit. It is my fervent wish, therefore, that today's event will be the first of many, many more to come. There are two types of events that really bring joy and excitement, should I say fulfillment to my heart at the end of the year, especially since I started living and working, spending more time in Trinidad. Parang, let me tell you, as Swigonians, we didn't have Parang concerts. I don't even think we still do, because it's just really not a part of our culture on that side. But to come to Trinidad and to see it and to be a part of it, it's something that you just must experience. So I look forward to that at the end of the year, and I look forward to sporting awards, because I think that these two events, these two types of events, I should say, it really showcases. They really showcase who we are as a multi-ethnic, multicultural, multiracial, multi-talented, multi-gifted, proud and passionate people who can truly unite and put our differences aside in the name of what truly moves us, to bask in the beauty and the glory of our culture, and to behold the power and the majesty of sport. This year has been a great year in sports. From our athletes to our national governing bodies to our community sporting entities, they all raised the tempo and turned up the heat towards delivering an exciting and rewarding slew of performances and activities that really said to locals and the rest of the world that we have overcome the snares of the COVID-19 pandemic, and Trinidad and Tobago has returned to play. This year, we witnessed athletes like Nicholas Paul, Dylan Carter breaking records, blazing the trail, showing the world the might and the metal of which we are made. Those two athletes are already Olympic bound. We have Nikolai Blackman and Zarek Wilson, young swimming sensations who woke up the world this year, becoming household names in the discipline of swimming and offering hope to young swimmers across the Caribbean and the rest of the Commonwealth. Just last month, many more athletes joined the honor roll as our men's 3x3 basketball team, which graced the Pan Am competition for the first time, brought home a bronze medal, and Michelle Diaye also represented the red, white, and black in the Pan Am Games, bringing home a bronze medal also. This year, we hosted the Commonwealth Youth Games, and we cupped 15 medals. Earlier this year, we had Jordan Duki and her partner from Barbados, Serena Bryan. They were crowned in the doubles championship in the International Tennis Federation Junior Tournament in Barbados. Our beloved Red Force cricket team won the Regional Super 50 Cup, convincingly defeating all comers. And right now as we speak, our deaf national futsal team is presently participating in the World Championship for the first time in history. They won their game defeating Panama 8-6 last week. We wish them the very best. Earlier this month, I joined the Trinidad and Tobago Football Association in celebrating the stars of the Premier League, what we know to be the TT Pro League. And I must say, we must commend the Normalization Committee for its work towards restoring Trinidad and Tobago football to its former glory. In the area of community sports, you have groups like GT Fitness, West Penn Association, Growth and Awareness Foundation, Southern Sports, Friends and Family, Harlem Strikers, and the list goes on and on and on. Groups from across communities are taking the mantle and utilizing sport as a tool to promote unity, generate clean competition, and economic activity among the youth. In the spirit of the Nobel Peace Prize winner and world leader Nelson Mandela, sports does for us what nothing else can. Yesterday, I was going through my WhatsApp stories, and I saw a story where which highlighted Samson Nanton when he first became a sport reporter, and he was covering in 2005 the country's reaction to Trinidad and Tobago beating the United States in football in 2005. Yes. And he took us down memory lane as people from all walks of life, different colors, creed, and race. They came out in the streets in much jubilation and excitement, really showcasing who we are as a people. The businessmen across Port of Spain, they put down their operations and they came outside and had a grand time with our people. When I caught myself, I was crying. I'm like, am I crying? Then I must be really aging or I'm getting really soft. But to be more serious, I must say that such is the power of sports. For us, it's more than medals. It's about love, unity, providing opportunities, transforming our economy, breaking down barriers between our people, and strengthening the social and economic fabric of our national community. So it is in this light that we as a government, we continue to ramp up our efforts in refurbishing sporting facilities. This year, we finally refurbished the Hazy Crawford Stadium. The Jean Pierre complex will be worked on this year also. Tenders have already gone out, have been issued to replace the lighting at Larry Gomes Stadium. Works continue at Dwight York Stadium, and similar works are scheduled for Manu Ramjan later this year. Infrastructural improvements continue at our 9 swimming pools. And even closer to home, we've completed refurbishment at Magdalena Golf Course and Sevilla House Golf Courses. So last year, government contributed $70 million directly into the hands of athletes, national governing bodies, and community sporting groups. That's $56 million from the Ministry of Sport and Community Development and or implementation arm, which is Sport TT. I'm happy to see that you honored Sport TT this evening, because oftentimes national governing bodies go about like they get no help from government. So we thank you for the recognition. And from the Prime Minister's Sport and Culture Fund, which is a real strong partner in the battle, it's $14 million in support towards strengthening sport and helping you to develop in your respective disciplines and participate in competing nationally and internationally. I must say, of the Golf Association, you hardly apply for national programs. I think you're learning the system. In the system. I expect to see more next year, or maybe your corporate support from the private sector, Trinidad and Tobago, is so strong that you don't need us. We're happy about that. But the contribution to golf last year was about $1.4 million. So think about that. Out of $70 million to the 54 sporting disciplines under our watch, golf came through and applied for $1.4 million and got $1.4 million. That says, because you've done a lot last year, over this year, that says you have very strong support from the corporate sector, or you really stretch the dollar. And we commend you. We really, really commend you for that. So over the past, I would say 8 years, we've contributed at least $400 million. I'm talking about directly into the hands of athletes, elite athletes, upcoming athletes, national governing bodies, sport bodies from 2015 to this date across the 3 different entities: Ministry of Sport, Sport TT, and Deborah and they at Prime Minister's Sport and Culture Fund. And there are those who also get a little double dipping going on. They also go to NLCB. I'm teaching you the tricks. But whatever it is that you're doing, you've gotten support, and that has been good. And we are open to supporting you. As much as we can say we've contributed so much as a government, and we take some good licks, because people say we don't contribute enough. But I can guarantee you that there is no other Caribbean country that can boast of that level of commitment and sponsorship from the government. Prove me wrong if you can. Yeah? So, as much as we make that boast, I must say, in order for us to truly maximize the full potential of sport and accomplish the things that we want to accomplish in sport and develop the attitude and posturing that we need to in sport. We have to get corporate Trinidad and Tobago on board. I went to Jamaica and I saw that over 90% of their funding come from corporate Jamaica and old boys clubs and so on. And I think that we need to get that kind of action going in Trinidad and Tobago. I must say for golf, you are in a better place than many of the other national governing bodies. So I recognize you saluted this evening First Citizens Bank, you saluted Home Mortgage Entity, you saluted Kenson Group, Republic Bank. I salute you. I tip my hat to you. This is what national development is all about. Everybody pulling their weight and playing their role towards the development of the country. And there is no better way to guarantee proper return on your investment than in sport. So I think that over the years, we have seen people from all walks of life and the numbers increasing in the sport of golf. And that is not by chance. That didn't happen by chance. It's by your calculated and structured efforts of the Trinidad and Tobago Golf Association, extending your programs to schools, making that effort to place emphasis on development of girls and women. It didn't happen by chance, and sometimes we don't recognize you enough. So tonight I really want to tip my hat to you and salute you for the outstanding work you've been doing. There can be no denial that your sport has been traditionally seen as the preserve of the elite. I am certain that you will also agree with me that this perception has changed over the years as you reach your hands expand your reach, I should say, to the rest of Trinidad and Tobago. We can boast of a steady increase in numbers of persons who now turn to the sport, not only for competition, but for recreation and relaxation. The demographic is as wide as it is you have players ranging from the very young 5 to 10 years old to those in their 80s, both male and female, still enjoying the game. And much closer to my heart, you have extended your programs to include women and girls as well as schools and youth clubs throughout Trinidad and Tobago. On this note, I salute the Trinidad and Tobago Golf Association and I extend the government's fullest support and endorsement for your several initiatives in this regard. Foremost among those initiatives are your Snagger, your Starting New at Golf program in schools and communities, your Learn to Play initiative in secondary schools, and I am pleased that the Ministry of Education has just approved the introduction of golf to primary schools, and you plan to do so in Trinidad and in Tobago. At this point, women and girls have no excuse because the Trinidad and Tobago Golf Association is offering free training and development for women and girls. I don't know of another sporting discipline doing that. You deserve a round of applause. And you continue to strengthen your network by reaching out to the different embassies and reaching out to persons from the US and institutions towards providing more access opportunities and scholarships and so on for your elite athletes and for your young ones. So I am truly pleased by that. You're also doing some work in teaching those who are disabled or differently able to play golf. Wonderful, wonderful initiative. So I want to give you the assurance once again that the ministry, should I say the government of Trinidad and Tobago, we have no intention of letting up on our support, and we have no intention of letting down athletes and national governing bodies based on lack of funding. However, the one thing I ask is that individuals and national sporting bodies seeking sponsorship do so within the requisite time frame and submit the necessary documentation in keeping with the rules and respecting the process. Adherence to that protocol will obviate the embarrassment endured by athletes and prevent the ministry from being the innocent recipient of allegations of victimization, ill preparedness, unprofessionalism, and athlete neglect. As we gather this evening to celebrate golfing excellence, it would be remiss of me if I did not single out the Trinidad and Tobago Golf Association as one of the national governing bodies that provides me with the least amount of reasons to pull out my hair. You play by the rules and you have great regard and respect for the process. In addition, you have gone above and beyond the call of duty by supporting the government's mandate for sport tourism initiative as we seek to diversify the economy and provide economic activities to support various sectors of the national economy. Earlier this year, for example, you successfully hosted the 66th annual Caribbean Amateur Golf Championship in Magdalena Golf Course in Tobago. The ministry contributed over $1 million to the association in support of this fantastic initiative. I was extremely delighted to hear debutants to this tournament, Captain Ryan Peters and compatriot John Mark Chevrolet. I think I'm close. Speak so glowingly about the exciting experience that they had. And I think that these are the moments as we watch these youngsters bask in the glory of the sport and move from stage to stage and even reach beyond Trinidad and Tobago to get international accolades. That's what makes sports, or should I say the position of sport minister, so fulfilling and satisfying to me. So this evening, I join you in celebrating the greats, the Liam Bryden, Ben Martin, Christopher Richards, and even the young ones, Ethan Hill, Sean Mark Chevrolet, Ryan Peters, female Chloe Joda, Christopher Richards Jr., and so many more. We cannot leave out the people who are responsible for administration and helping you to spread your wings and embark on new horizons. The administrators who are responsible for the successful administration of the Elite Junior Golf Program, providing young talents with exposure development opportunities and pathways to golf scholarship, and to those who successfully reintroduce the Tobago Open Golf Tournament, fostering junior and amateur development on the Sister Isle. So tonight we celebrate the athletes, but let's not forget to celebrate the administrators and those who are working in the background. This has been the most fulfilling, rewarding, and pleasing experience for me in my interaction with not only the sporting fraternity, but more specifically, the golf family. They make you feel a part. I came in as Minister of Sport 2018, and I said my first gig was the golf tournament. And as you move through the discipline and you meet the different movers and shakers, it's a whole camp of volunteers and parents and people who've been playing since they were young and people who've been around in the earlier competitions who are just there to make you feel at home. And they call, they check on you. The hospitality, the camaraderie, the compassion, that ought to be celebrated and commended in a mighty, mighty, mighty way. When I heard Golf Association chose the Central Bank Auditorium, I said, oh, these people are well-wired, well-connected, and serious about their business. Yes, so I salute you. You have a good thing going. And so here's to your first awards, celebrating the past presidents, honoring those who came before you, and showing the young ones that you have a long way to go. And sport pays. Sport pays. It's more than medal. It's about camaraderie, it's about community, it's about the fraternity, it's about family, it's about flying the flag of Trinidad and Tobago high. It's about providing opportunities and breaking down barriers between our people and finding ways to strengthen the social and economic fabric of Trinidad and Tobago. All of that is we. All of that is TNT. Behold the power of sport. So this evening, Wayne Batiste, your champion. You're a champion. It's not easy to do what you're doing, and I know it's not you alone. You are supported by a strong team. So take some time and recognize your team. Yeah. So to all of you who would grace the stage this evening, congratulations. And to those of you who would not grace the stage this evening, but you know you have put in that work, congratulations to you too. Keep the flag flying high and continue to give your heart, your time, your talent, your resources to Gulf, to Trinidad and Tobago. We as government, we continue to extend our support. And as you go into schools and reach into rural communities and vulnerable areas, we intend to support you. Don't be afraid to call on us. Keep calling on your private sector people too. But we will continue to be right there with you. Thank you for having me. Thank you for recognizing the contribution of the government. God bless you. Thank you.